What is going on, everyone? DJ's here with another Advanced Wars by Web replay analysis. Today, we're going to take an old peek at mine of my own games in the Global Leagues, a fog game versus the one, the only, Spooty. Now, if y'all have been following my channel a good old bit, I actually played a game versus Spoot and Fog before on Struggle Grinding, the legendary Max versus Grit matchup. One of the weirdest, quirkiest, strangest matchups there is. The indirect specialist versus the direct specialist on a 2-base fog map. Anyway, take a peek at that game if you haven't. I don't want to give any spoilers, but yeah, we're back. And I want to face Mr. Spooty, and I want to beat him to the ground in this game. So when I saw it was against Spoot, I was like, oh yeah, I'm going to whoop his ass. So when I looked at this map right here, this map is actually called 1 vs 1 Ardennes, or I think it's pronounced 1 vs 1 Ardennes. I love Ardennes. I think this map right here is one of the largest in all of Advanced Wars by Web. Ginormous map, like 30 by 30 or some crap like that. It's a 2-base, it's a 3-base map, but kind of 2-base strong side versus a 1-base weak side, and then 1-base weak side versus 2-base strong side. Both sides have airports. The strong side has an airport. The weak side has an airport. There's ports. You're not going to use them. There's contested comm towers. The weak side gets the comm tower, so you can actually get both comm towers by utilizing your strong side and forcing it into your control. There's a lab in the middle. It'll be very useless. Doesn't serve any purpose. The HQs are actually quite exposed. There is no black boats on it. Sammy could get a victory march off, theoretically, in a tier 4 matchup. So you just have to be a little wary. There is HQ threats that you have to kind of go around to defend. You don't have to go around over here to defend, so the HQs are a little vulnerable. Just keep that in mind. Larger maps generally favor Andy. They generally favor Olaf or Eagle. They generally favor Hawk. So typically larger maps you want to have boomy COs. I like to call them boomy. You have the aggressive COs like Kindle, Max, etc. Then you have the boomy COs, more of the Andy, the Olaf, the Eagle types. There's also 2 airports, which also played into my picking of Andy. Battlecopters are not going to die unless you use anti-air on them, because if you weaken my battlecopters to 3-4 HP by striking with your own battlecopter, I'm going to use my hyper upgrade. I'm going to get 5 HP back, and that thing's going to be brand new. So also, high income map also plays into Andy's hands. Andy loves high income. You know why? Because he can tech up, build neo tanks, bombers, fighters, medium tanks, and those things are hard to kill. They take multiple hits, 2, 3, 4, 5 hits to kill those sorts of big beefy units. And when they don't die, that means they get rejuvenated with Andy's superpower or maybe even the CO power. So all of these things play favorable to Andy. But the weird thing about this map, you wouldn't guess it, but Sonya has one of the highest usage and win rates of all the tier 3 COs. Very strange. Now, why is Sonya so good? Honestly, I'm not entirely sure to this day. However, I think since it's so large, maybe vision plays a larger role in this. There's not any mountains in the middle, so recon vision is extremely useful. Most of the fighting is going to be done away from mountains. On a lot of maps in the current Global League, you have mountains, you can use your infantry to get vision, you don't need recons as much. In this kind of map right here, no mountains at all in the middle. The nearest mountain is down here and over here. Recons are essential. Tanks are essential, even too. Sonyas are like recon tank hybrids. They have 4 vision each. So for that reason, I think that's why Sonya is good on this map. There's a lot of forests. Artillery are great on this map as well. And when there's artillery great and there's not many mountains, Sonya does make a little more sense. She is one of the lowest usage of all tier 3 COs in Advanced Wars by Web in general. But she does have her niche games. There are maps where she has spy units like a recon in the back or something hidden like that. But I was honestly surprised to see Sonya, and I was a little peeved. I kind of like the Andy versus Sonya matchup personally. For me, I think that it's advantageous to me personally. Because she has weaker units, she has 10% less luck, so her units are going to have a harder time killing my big beefy units, which can make in turn easy for my units to repair. However, if I was Drake, I feel like I'd wipe the floor with Sonya, because Sonya has to be hyper aggressive because she doesn't have one of those punishing superpowers. Her superpower doesn't really stand in the same tier as, say, Drake's or Andy's. So she has to really make a move and get income advantage, or else she'll get punished hard by Drake. If it was Drake versus Sonya, this game would be a walk in the park. Andy versus Sonya, I say Andy. I would assess that Andy has a slight advantage over Sonya. Kindle versus Sonya, honestly, I don't know, but honestly, I was happy with the matchup here. Spoot's a strong player, 1400, 1500 level player. So we were pretty evenly matched up. I was 1500 at the time. He was about 1500 at the time. One of the highest watched games in Advanced Wars in recent memory. It had around 100 followers. So high stakes, high pressure. I was pretty involved in this game in the early stages. It was a long game. This game was actually started in January of 2023. And I'm reviewing this currently near the end of May. So this game happened a while ago. It started a while ago. It actually ended not too long ago. This game went over 3 to 4 months long. It was a long game. Spoot likes to take his time. He takes his time. I had about 30 days in the tank near the end of the game. He had about 2 days, maybe 3 days in the tank. So Spoot is a slow, methodical player, similar to Ghost 7, similar to Operation Mech Storm and Standard Play. Kind of a juxtaposition me, the fast-paced, baboony, crazy player versus the more methodical Spoot. So without further ado, let's start this game, because it was an interesting one for show. So I'm going to take away the vision so y'all can relive how I played this game versus Spoot. I had no vision, he had a vision advantage, so I want you to suffer through the vision denial that I didn't have for a decent portion of this game. And I really highlight the Sony usage here. So far, we go get our bases. You always get the base first, then you're going to want to get the airport after that for T-copters. Maybe interrupt this. Sometimes day 3 recon is a play. You get a recon over here. Try to deny these properties from the one base side. Meta is typically build a day 3 recon sometimes, and then you build a tank from your weak side to counter the day 3 recon. So there's a whole thing, but then it evolves and you don't build a recon, you build an artillery, and then the tank doesn't work. So it's a whole kind of catching up game. I go back here for the port first. Some people go for the aggressive, go up here, then you go for this first. I go for the port just for the early income. I think Spoot does the same. Yeah, so pretty standard stuff so far. Nothing out of the ordinary. I do believe I made a few early mistakes that I will point out. So Spoot actually does go for the day 3 recon, and I think I actually anticipate this and like nail it. So I'm doing pretty good so far. No complaints on my build order. He builds his recon. It's going to take about 3 turns before it can actually see and do any damage. So I'm not a big fan of the day 3 recon. It's such a huge map. There's a lot of planes. You have to kind of slither along the sides to do any damage. I'm not a huge fan of the day 3 recon on this map, to be honest. So when I saw it, I was actually quite happy. And it also kind of stunts his growth. So this turn I will be able to provide a tank and 2 infantry with the 9k into advantage. This is all planned. By getting this property, I was able to get 9k. If I went too aggressive, I wouldn't have been able to afford it as my player. So I built a tank here because I'm smirked, and I expected the day 3 recon. Like I said, I'm playing Spoot. You think I'm going to go easy on the guy? Hell no, I'm going to whoop his ass. So, Spoot brings his recon down. He's not seeing anything yet. Since he built the early recon, he doesn't have any tanks yet. Kind of behind on that kind of development. Move my infantry forward, get some caps going. Nothing too out of the ordinary so far. Some people opt to get a T-copter early. He moves his recon in, sees all my units, and I see him. He got a little too aggressive. I see that son of a snitch. And I'm not too happy to see his sorry ass. No one has any comm towers yet, but I'm going to murder that recon. So first things first, I'm going to punish that stupid Riki. 6 damage, a little bit of a low roll maybe. But I'm going for the kill. Die, you stupid Riki, I say to myself as I slapped my couch. Die, you stupid Riki. The Riki doesn't die. And he weakened my 2 infantry to 9 too. Not only did he just not die, somehow 1 HP recon did 1 damage to my infantry there. Hello? F that recon. I hate that recon. None of my friends like recons. Never liked them in the first place. So I kind of get a little bungled over here, I think. I should have had the black boat positioned over here to capture this airport earlier. I think this guy's going to get stranded on that island for a bit. He's going to have a little bit of a Gilligan's Island experience. Have some fun with the Carnival Cruise Lines. So Spoot over here, on the other hand, he transports this over here beautifully. I think he builds a T-copter, which would enable no one to get stranded. Everyone's getting off the island. We're not playing with the turtles anymore. Everyone's bored of the turtles. So he has pretty decent vision. He tries to hide his recon. Silly, stupid recon. Silly, stupid, sexy recon. You're dead. I reveal it, kill it with an infantry because I'm feeling spicy. So I'm going to capture probably this one up here. Even though it's going to fall under yellow control, similar to these properties are going to follow under my control. As my strong side, I still feel like going feisty because I have the tank early. I doubt he has any tanks following up. So, as you can see, I have, well, I can bring both of them over here. So actually, maybe it's not terrible. Maybe I didn't misplay as much as I remember misplaying. Build my recon, I build it later on. Recons are essential on this map. You don't have to build day 3, but you have to build a recon at some point in this map. You have to build a recon. You're gonna have to have at least 2 at all times on this map, at least 2, if not 3. Put them in the forest, see what's going on. Put them in the middle right here in the lab so you can see front switches, etc. But you're gonna have to have at least 2 recons as any normal CO. Maybe Sonya can get away with using 1 because her tanks have 4 vision. See, look at that beautiful vision right there. He can actually interrupt me. He won't be able to stop me, but he can interrupt me. He builds an early artillery over here, which is I like. You kind of want to have artillery on the strong side. Probably wants to plant it in this forest or this forest. Probably more ideally this forest right here. And regain control of these 2 properties. I believe I actually build artillery myself this turn, because typically on the strong side is where you want to build artillery, is not on your weak side. So far, everything's going according to plan for both of us. Nothing too insane other than that stupid recon. I build my artillery here. Could have built it there. Not a huge difference maker. I just kind of wanted a tank chain going on. As you can see, I have my tank chain streaming in right now. No one's doing anything too crazy. This infantry's a little confused. I don't know why he's going the other way. Let's see how long he survives. But capture game is going according to plan. Built a mech here. He invested already in the T-copter, so maybe he was feeling obligated to build a mech here. Not terrible. I actually would prefer using a mech as Andy, because the superpower can move 1 extra space, whereas you're locked into 2 spaces if you're Sonya here. So, you know, maybe I'm not going to hate on it significantly. Without the T-copter, it makes no sense. With the T-copter, it's not completely stupid. I believe I don't build a mech the entire game. I'm not a mech guy. I'm not a mech guy, I'm a tech up guy. And then, ooh, beautiful here. Actually, I think I like mine a little bit better, because then I can transport this sucker over here and plop there. Although I will be able to capture with that guy anyway. I'll be able to get the front lines, my recon sees that. Do I attack into that? Honestly, as Andy, because I can repair everything, I think I do attack into it, because I'm like, hey, he can attack it back, but then I'm just going to retreat that. I have a tank chain going on, it's my strong side, and then I'll just repair it. I think he doesn't even attack me. He has a tank in position. We'll see if he does. Actually, he might attack me. That is my strong side, don't forget. But he knows I have a tank over here. He brings this in for information because he has good vision with his infantry units. He brings the tank in, Kakauga. Does just 5 damage, but it's easily hyper repairable. I see this infantry over there. My spidey senses are tingling. I'm like, look, this is my weak side over here. A lot of people might be like, I'm planting my infantry there. That's that. You're not moving me. Me, on the other hand, my spidey senses are tingling. I prefer to have units rather than income advantage. So I built, oh, by the way, I built my first anti over here. This is a 2-copter or 2-airport map. You're going to see a lot of copters, you're going to see bombers, you're going to see fighters. So you want to build your anti-air day 10 at the absolute latest. I was building it later because he's Sonya rather than Andy. If he was Andy, I probably would have built it a turn or 2 earlier. Now I'm going to be building my first copter this turn, I believe. I get vision over here. Do I go for the double hit KO over here? I think I do not, and I rather just retreat. I think I was feeling a little bit less feisty than normal. I don't opt to double go over here. I'm definitely going to retreat that infantry though. As I've grown aged with my advanced force wisdom and experience, I can sense when it's time to move. I don't see the artillery and stuff over here. See all this shit? Cheat codes going on over here. I don't see it, but I know some shit's up here. I don't have any vision, but I'm like, nah, that ain't me. I'm moving the hell back. You can have that shit. I want to keep this alive. I only have 1 base over here, so every infantry matters. I want to have income advantage. I want to have unit advantage. But most importantly, I want to have unit count. So I allow him to cap that, which is no problem. Another beautiful thing about Sonya, an artillery can fend for itself. It has 2 vision rather than just 1 vision. Normally an artillery is useless by itself. It needs vision support to shoot because it can only see right in front of it where it conveniently can't attack. However, Sonya has the one little trick of being able to shoot 2 spaces away with the artillery without any vision support. Not that you should do that, you should still be relying on vision support. I just thought I'd throw that little factoid out there for you. So, he pulls back over here. So far, we're pretty equal in income advantage. I believe that's going to be his. I'm not going to interrupt that. That should be mine, because this is his. So far, so good. I move my recon in, move my tank in. These are all covered. You'll have to attack twice over there. I have tank chain. You do not want to attack into this as Spoot. If I were him, I'd back off. Now, the thing is, you don't want to get too feisty with these edge guys over here, because they're not covered by anything. This infantry is sort of covered by that tank over there, but you don't want to be capturing that property without any support. And I think I had like a hankering. I was like, oh, I need to capture it. Ooh, I need to capture. He's gonna get the income advantage. I need to. But no, you need to chill. Keep your infantry count high. And just chill. So I let him do his thing. I know there's a bunch of shit over here. He thinks there's more of my stuff than there is. There's literally nothing but infantry. I'm going completely death ball over here. For some reason, he doesn't have a recon or anything over here. So his knowledge, his recon's kind of misplaced over here. It would have been a lot better off near this lab over here. He would have seen all of this. And when seeing that, he could have gone ham over here. But since he does not have very much information, he kind of backs off a bit. So he's going a little, see, he's just don't mind me, just gonna nudge my tank forward a little bit. He could go ham. All I have is infantry. All I have is infantry. I see the tank though, it's right in front of me. My spidey senses are tingling. I don't think he interrupts the cap. He knows better. He's gonna back off because any infantry that attacks is gonna die. Now we are completely equal. Honestly, as Andy, equal income advantage, equal income, I don't mind at all. That's perfectly fine. Honestly, I have the better late game. I have the better powers. I have the better tech up units. I have better luck. It's just better overall. So I don't mind. I actually go ham right here. I go a little too feisty here, maybe, perhaps. He does have 3 tanks, and he actually techs up to a medium tank without me knowing. Let's put the F back over here. So I get a little feisty. I do not get the roll, I believe, which is, typical. You shouldn't expect the roll. So that was a little feisty by me. The reason being I did that is because I do have artillery support. So if he does attack me, I will kill it. But he will be able to kill this tank over here with the tank attack here and a tank attack here. So this was a bit of a feisty move. There was no need to do this. I think I was just feeling extra feisty because I saw the tank over here and I sensed that he was weaker over here than over here. Just the spidey senses tingling. So I was like, okay, there's a ticking time bomb over here. I need to press over here because he's going to get these properties. I need to get these properties in return. Which is not completely wrong, but I don't think I should have. It's hard to attack Sonya players because they have such good counterattacks. Killing off her units on cities is incredibly hard. As you can see, I attacked with a full HP tank to a full HP tank. I knocked him down to 6 and I was knocked down to 5. I got a lower HP tank than he did, even though I attacked first as Andy because of that strong counterattack. However, I'm still doing pretty decent. I don't know why I attacked there. I should have fallen back like I was earlier. I think I'm going to fall back with all my other units though. And he's capturing all these properties. Now he's going to town. He saw what went on over here and he's like, all right, there's nothing defending anything over here. So he just goes crazy, starts capping everything. Oops, sorry, I went but really quick. So first things first, he kills my infantry, kills off my other tank over here, kills me with the copter. It's like, no way Deej has an anti-air. No way Deej has an anti-air. Please. Spooty. Spooty. Who do you think I am? Come on. So far so good. Let's look at the stats real quick. So I have more kills than deaths, actually. Believe it or not. Or no, this is Spoot. He has more kills than deaths. Excuse me. So he's winning so far, but it was his turn. Now I'm going to kill the copter, so that's going to change quite significantly. So, first things first, kill the anti-air, kill the copter, attack the tank, attack the other tank, attack that. Now I can look at this coverage. Look at this coverage. You can't attack anything in here. And if you don't kill something, I'm going to heal up. So this actually worked out pretty decently in the end. And I actually even attacked with my copter onto that because I was feeling so feisty. And I knew, I was like, dude, this guy's just chilling in the forest. He's a 5 HP tank. He's sitting pretty. No need to bring him out until I use the hyper up repair, which is coming soon. Or so everyone thinks. I bring my copter in. I'm feeling feisty. There is no anti-air in the vicinity, so this is actually pretty nice relief for me. He has nothing to counter the copter, so that provided relief. He cannot see my my artillery over there. I sneakily put it right in that forest to prevent anything going on over here. I don't want him getting my comm tower. I don't want him getting this property, so I'm feeling pretty good so far. I'm going to have my hyper upgrade. He's going to have his superpower, though. So he's going to use counter break. So now he is going to see my artillery. Artillery are not quite as good as Sonya as other COs because she sees where they are. She sees everything. Look at this whole freaking map. 60% of the whole map is revealed to Sonya right now. It's crazy. So he kills, believe it or not, he kills off my tank right in front of that artillery. And he doesn't give a shit. Instead, he chooses to kill off my infantry over there. Honestly, it makes sense because I'm going to heal it up. He brings his tank in. He goes ham. He gets a nice high roll for him. Actually, it's not a high roll. Well, no, it is a high roll for Sonya. So he has these mechs are actually a little scary. So one mech was a little wimpy. 2 mechs with a T-Copter actually is a pretty decent play by Spooty over here. I take back my hatred of the mech earlier. It makes sense when you have a T-Copter. A lot of people, they build mechs on their weak side. They build mechs without transportation support. They don't have an APC. They don't have a T-Copter. They don't have a Blackboard. They don't have a lander. It makes sense when you have the T-Copter investment. Honestly, Spoot making the mechs work. They're threatening. I can't just go willy-nilly into that tank over there. Luckily for me, I do have the Copter though, and he has nothing to defend against that. Oops, I'm going pretty quick. So he brings his tank back, attacks my recon, tries to get vision denial, won't get it. Gets a little wimpy hit off on my artillery. Come on. It's a little Wimpkin's gonna do. At the end of his turn, we brace. Oh, he's a little bit ahead, so that hurt a bit. He's definitely got more kills than deaths. We got equal income, but I'm feeling feisty. That was a really stupid engagement. I don't know why I did that. I think I was intending to use superpower right there. I actually forget to reveal that first, so I think I'm gonna use my superpower here. Yeah, now I use my hyper upgrade. Everything's gonna get healed. Remember this little boy over here? Some people might not remember with you, but I remember. And these tanks are going boom boom. They're killing some shit. They're killing some shit. Bye-bye meaty over here. Will I be able to defend that Copter though? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I need to have a way to block him off so he can't get the kill with his anti-air over there. I probably will weaken it anyway, because I see it and I can definitely reach it. So I'm gonna attack with those 2 tanks. What are those 2 tanks doing? Did they get trapped or some shit? No, there it goes. Kakunga. So he gets the hit off first, because that's how it goes with Sonya. The counterattack attacks first during the superpower. So right now I'm feeling pretty feisty. Pretty equal on income, or units and income. However, I have 50% higher unit value, so I'm feeling pretty good. And I got this infantry capping over here. I got all my healed up units. He's got all wimpy, weak units. I'm feeling pretty damn good. But now he has income advantage. His mechs are a little scary, and he's threatening this. And I was like, oh hell no, not my comm tower, not my comm tower. He's actually attacking into this stuff, so I'm quite overextended. And notice what he's doing. He's actually bringing his units, instead of reinforcing down here, he's actually bringing them to reinforce the side, which is actually incredibly smart because I am overextended. Instead of doubling down over here, which is already a 1 battle, he's actually reinforcing instead. So it's just a good thing to be cognizant of when you have that. When you're winning on one side, you don't need to really crush them that much. You just need to do enough to win properties, which he has done. And once you win those properties, you can reinforce your losing side. You don't have to go all in, or else you're going to lose everything on one side and win everything on the other. Why don't you try to win a little on one side and stop them from winning anything on the other side, you know what I mean? So you have some spoils of war. His spoils so far is a 2k income advantage. He kind of needs it, Sonya, because I'm going to whoop his ass cheeks if he don't. So, feeling pretty good so far. He ends his turn, and I'm still ahead in unit value. So I'm feeling pretty good. I'm behind on unit count, but I'm ahead on everything else. My Copter gets a little cheeky hit off over here. I'm like, no way you're getting that. No. Hell no. So I'm trying to slink by and make sure he doesn't get that. I attack over here. I'm going ham, man. I'm overextended, but I don't give a shit. I'm attacking anti-air to unit that. Okay, this is stupid. The baboons play start coming in right here, like, dude, I should keep that behind, and I should keep this behind, maybe in a forest, maybe in a city. I'm right near the airport. I'm gonna need these. It takes a while to build new ones over here. Gotta keep my anti-air alive. Gotta keep my Copters alive. Gotta keep my units alive because I can heal everything up. I do have a Neo tank I didn't bring up earlier, but I teched up. Teching up is extremely important as anti. So having that Neo tank is beautiful. But yeah, I get way too... Look at these things. I'm getting way too feisty with those anti-air. And look at that. I'm not even capping this property. I'm like, F that. I'm capping this property because I'm going to capture this next turn. Forget that other property. So I'm going to regret that. I should have captured this property right here because it's going to get interrupted. It's way too close to the base. But I was so feisty. I was like, I'm going to beat Spoot so hard. So bad. He's going to rue the day he even challenged the Deej. So, but I'm feeling a little paranoid. I have no idea what's going on over here. I see an infantry. I saw a T-Copter. I'm like, oh no, is there something in here that's going to secretly cap and then I'm just going to lose? because I don't want to lose by having an HQ cap, so I'm a little paranoid of that during the entire game. But he's killing off my units, kills off a copter, kills off my recon, uses enhanced vision. Sees this over here, doesn't see my Neotank yet, sees my units. I guess he wanted the boost, or because there's nothing that's really revealed in the forest, because he saw what was here already. I guess he wanted to see what was here, maybe? Or, I don't know, or maybe here. He thought maybe there's the artillery over here, it's probably clumped up there, and then he'd probably get the tank hit here, maybe? I don't quite understand why he's enhanced vision, but hey, it has some utility, gets to see what's going on. Kill off my anti-air, because such a brute. And the thing is, he does so much damage here with the enhanced vision too, and I have to move this in order to kill the copter, which is extremely frustrating, so planting that artillery didn't really help. So now the tides are turning a bit. He's threatening a lot of captures. He's ahead 2k. He's ahead of units. I see what's going on at this point. I look at the stats. It's like February or March at this point, real time. I'm behind in kills to deaths. Although, look, the deaths and kills are pretty equal on value, but it's just he's killed off a lot more infantry. He's killed off 10, and he's lost 6, so that's, that plays a role. So I captured this probably. So this one actually came through. I could have captured that one and held it longer, but this is way too close. I'm not going to be able to hold that long term. So now we've equalized, and I'm like, okay, I know for a fact there's going to be an anti-air this turn. So there's no way in hell that copter, I'm going to let that die. The thing is, Bagoomba, that's right. The 15 fuel Blackboard is doing work. It blocked off any attempt at 2-hit KOing this infantry. He could have done a 2-hit KO with this and the mech maybe, and then killed off my copter with the anti-air. Oh, hell no. Big boy Blackboat saving the day. Best Buy gift card, big boy Blackboat, 15 buckaroonies for this boy over here. Great job. We're at day 17. Feeling good, feeling great. I have my tech up. There's nothing in the general vicinity. I knew he had to have nothing from my Neotank. I was like, this Neotank's going to come in and it's going to crush. And he's going to have nothing to do with that. Nothing at all. And he doesn't. And boomba, bye copter. So I bring my copter over here because I'm like, I see that shit over there. I see that shit over there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So he won't be able to reach me over here. So this is a perfectly safe copter. I build my own T-copter this time. I do not build a mech, I believe. I saw him building mechs, but I didn't think he would build them. He sees this over here. This will actually be quite easily killed. Kill this with a tank and a copter, and then get a nice hit off my artillery. I will be able to hyper upgrade, so that's a play. I do bring my tank over there. I do interrupt this cap over here. I'm basically daring him to do damage to me because I'm basically assessing that any damage he does to me this turn, I'll be able to heal it off. You can do all the little damage he wants, but I have a hyper upgrade waiting. So this is going to be healed, this is going to be healed, everything's going to be healed. So everything he does this turn, it has to be for the kill. He has to go for the headshot. We're not going for a wound. We're going for that boom, headshot. That's the only way he's actually going to get some sustained damage. I'm still paranoid over here. That infantry's probably going to be parked there the rest of the game, to be perfectly honest. Bring my copter over here. I got one here, one here. Starting the copter spam. I know he's got at least one anti-air. I highly doubt he has more than one, so I'm starting to proliferate copters and tanks. Now notice he's kind of cut off supplies over here. He had the tank, he has the artillery, he's had 2 mechs, and he has the anti-air, but he hasn't really rejuvenated the forces in a while. All of his forces are basically funneling over here. Whereas I'm starting to funnel tank chains over here, and I'm starting to cut forces over here. So we're both cutting production in kind of opposite ways. My strong side, I'm cutting production over there, and his strong side is kind of cutting production over here. I'm reinforcing my weak side, he's reinforcing his weak side. So it's just kind of funny how this kind of like mirrors each other. So he's not gonna be able to do jack shit. So thankfully my tank lives. So that means it'll live for the hyper upgrade, inshallah. But Bagoonga, he kills off. Oh, he's gonna get through and kill my tanky. No! Kills it off. Kills off my artillery. Kills off my other artillery. He's killing a lot of units. And he's killing units over here as well. All my weakened units, he cleaned them up. He cleaned them up. And I see my thing, it's almost trapped. I'm like, oh no. A Sonya bomber is coming. You know why Sonya bombers are so overpowered? You can't freaking kill them. You need a fighter to kill them. You attack with an anti-air, Sonya pops your superpower, that bomber is invincible because its counter break, the unit attacks first, the counter attack attacks first, so the anti-air dies, it gets obliterated. So Estonia bombers are something to behold. So I know it's coming. I know Estonia bomber's coming. Let's put the F back. So I'm a bit terrified. So I believe I built a fighter this turn because I'm like, oh hell no, there's no Estonia bombers in my neighborhood. I'm not dealing with that bullshit. So I'm reinforcing my Neo tank. Gets a nice little kill over there. It's gotten 2 kills, but I'm wary. I'm like, okay, bomber probably was produced this turn. So I got one more turn and then I go to retreat next turn. This infantry is like, could I get out of here, please? Then he walks right into an anti-air. So I'm still attacking off the units. I'm retreating where I can. I don't pop my hyper upgrade because I don't really have that many weakened units. I have this one tank over here and a few infantry units. There's no real point in using my hyper upgrade at this point. Actually, go for a double anti-air instead of a fighter, I guess. Whatever. I do have an income advantage by virtue of holding this property. He won't be able to capture this property yet, so I actually have an advantage right here, which is pretty nice. I'm still ahead 50 whole thousand in units. The thing is, it's still, he has unit advantage. So he has 26 kills, 21 deaths. Like I said, I have more kills and value, so I'm feeling pretty good about that. But I don't have enough units to warrant using a hyper upgrade. I'm like, I'll hold on to that shit all day. I'm not popping a hyper upgrade until I feel like it. I'll hold on to it for the whole game if I need to. I actually remember telling him, he's like, oh, why aren't you using your hyper upgrade? I was like, have you played me before? I only use a power when I want to use my power. I don't press it. I'm not some baboon going, boom, 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 power, 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 power. No. We've evolved. We're not baboon brained anymore. We're orangutan brained now. We're smarter. We know how to get the peanuts. We learned how. We moved on from bananas. We're on to peanuts now. And he uses another enhanced vision. Crazy. I've never seen Sonya pop 2 enhanced visions in one game, let alone maybe even 1. So he sees everything. He sees that nothing's in the forest. I think he was worried something would be in the forest. Well, it's not going to matter. I'm going to blow that shit up. And when I see blow that shit up, that means the copters feast. And look, there's not a single anti over there. And I know that. I know he just doesn't have another because I'm seeing all the units over here. And I'm like, oh, hell no, he doesn't have another anti-air. So I'm feeling pretty good. With the enhanced vision, he actually gets the glug of dread right there. Look at that fucking high roll. Without the enhanced vision, that's not dead. So maybe that's why he did it. Because I definitely would have hyper upgraded that shit and he would have lived to see another day. Doesn't get the cult over there though, thankfully. Tank kills off my anti-air and does a little damage, but still doesn't really warrant me using a hyper upgrade. And I have no freaking vision at this point. I have no vision. Look at this shit. I don't have a single recon. Remember at the beginning of the game, it was like, build recons, at least 2 recons, get 3 maybe. Yeah, recons. I gotta listen to my own shit sometimes. You need the recons. And I'm like, oh shit, a bomber is coming. There is no bomber, spoiler alert. But I feel like a bomber is coming. I think he should have built a bomber. Didn't build a bomber. Should have built a Neo tank maybe. Should have built something tech up to kill this, because nothing can kill this right now. I'm like, I can't see shit. So I know there's a freaking thing in there. So I reveal that first. Kill that off. Boongla. I'm having field day on my weak side. And I built a fighter. So I got 2 anti-airs and a fighter. Any Sonya bomber that comes down my path, dead. Murdered in the wound. I'm not standing up for any Sonya bombers. Boonga. And you know what? At this point I assess 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It can barely reach me, this theoretical Sonya bomber. But if he does reach me, I will have some overlap, and this will kill. And I know he won't have a counter break, so I will be able to at least do 8 points of damage, 7 points of damage to that bomber. So my Neo tank will get value. Now I'm starting to build recons because I'm like, yeah, I can't see shit. I'm still attacking in because I need some counter play. I do have the income advantage so far. He's not going to be able to capture that property. I know he has no anti-air in the vicinity, and it's completely out of position. Once again, behind on unit count. I'm behind 7 units, but I am ahead 50,000. I'm ahead 50 whole percent in unit value. Most of it's tied up in the Neo tank and the fighter, though. So one good chunk of a third of my unit value is in those 2 units right there. So just keep that in mind. Whatever they do is critical. If they're attacking infantry, if they're all grazing in the farms or something, I'm not getting my value's worth. It's already killed 2 tanks, maybe 3 tanks so far. So my Neo tank has already paid for itself, thankfully. So I was happy about that. Kills off my tanky over there, murders my units. He's doing really good in the KD. It's 24 to 36, so he has 12 advantage. Look at this. I'm down 25 to 35. I have better units, I have income, but I have less units. And less units is critical. I need to have more units. Goes without saying. I'm waiting for that bomber. I'm waiting for that bomber. Bomber's not coming. This anti-air is not even going down to support these. The anti-air is going in the middle. I guess it's quicker. You know, there's less forest and stuff. So maybe that makes sense. But he's retreating on his strong side. I sense the weakness, and I think I'd murder him on his strong side. Dead. First things first. I don't want to allow him back into the income advantage turn. And I know there's some sort of shenanigans going on over there. I'm like, I have no vision. I'm not going to sack my Neo tank for nothing. So I'm not an absolute baboon. I don't see that dangling there. I'm like, no. I have restraint. I had restraint earlier. I was like, I'm not going to hold on to that. My spidey senses are tingling. I don't have vision. But you get the spidey senses. And you know something's up. So, and like I said, piston. Attack one place, pull back. Attack, pull back. Attack, pull back. I'm pulling back over here. I'm attacking over here. I'm murdering him over here. So I'm feeling pretty good. Bring this over here, healed. I want these 5 HP because then I can use my super. Capture that. Extra income advantage. Because he will be capturing this next turn. It was nice while I had it, but he's going to get back to equal income. Instead, I opt to kill off this infantry over there because I figured it was safe. It's in range of my fighter. It's in range of my 2 anti-airs. So at this point, I'm like, if there is a bomber, my Neo tanks live a long, prosperous life. He's gotten old. He's starting to take Cialis. He's starting to drink prune juice. He's starting to live at the retirement home. He's a fixture on the couch. So his time has come. It's time for him to die. But so this Neo tank over here, I was expecting a bomber. I guess he saw these 2 over here, and maybe he doesn't quite understand or quite recognize the power of the Sonya bomber, but he actually built his own Neo tank, which is fascinating to me because this Neo tank can't one-shot my Neo tank. So he does kill off my tank over there. Boonga. And starts capping 2 of my properties, so he's starting another income advantage. And me, on the other hand, I'm threatening another income advantage my own way, though, on the side. So I should kill off these forces and use my superpower here, capture that, heal these 2. The thing is, I don't really have that many units to warrant using it, so I was debating. I was like, should I use my power here? Should I not use my power here? I don't know. So I was really debating if I should use my power or not, my superpower. I opt to not use it. I think I should have used it in retrospect, because then I would get both of these properties. I guess I didn't know that there was nothing over here. I thought there might be some army over here. I think I should have used it this turn, because then I'd be able to double cap. And he has this, I think I didn't check the replay viewer, so I didn't even know there was a unit back here. So that was kind of funky. This random ass unit that I forgot about. But look at this. Look at that. 60,000. Forget 50,000. I'm ahead 60,000 in unit value. It's, like I said, it's all tied up in certain units though. You look at the stats again. 40 to 34. I'm still behind on unit count, but the kills are definitely more worthwhile. I've only killed 12 infantry to 22 for him, so I have a lot less infantry, but I've killed 4 anti-air, 1 medium tank, 4 copters, 9 tanks. Meanwhile, he's killed 9 tanks, 3 anti-air, 3 copters, and no medium tank for him. So, feeling pretty decent. We're at day 21. There is no capture cap on this, so, or no day limit, I should say. So this game could go on to infinity and beyond. But we both wouldn't like that because this game is already, we're entering into April at this point. I think we started in January, February, March, April. See, I know the months, guys. We're in like April now. So, getting on to it, he pulls back wisely. You probably don't want to attack into this. He wants me to lure me in, like, attack the tank on the tank right there. Then he uses the artillery, then he kills me off with the neo tank. I'm not stupid though. I'm honestly shocked not to see a bomber yet. I'm shocked. But I'm still ahead. This stupid little pest over here is annoying as shit. So I'm going to have some trouble capping these. I should have used my superpower last turn. I should have, because then I would have gotten these 2 properties. I don't know why I didn't use it. Sometimes it bit me in the ass. Normally, it really pays off holding on to these powers, but this time, I don't know. I was holding on way too long. A little too patient, some might say. So I'm starting to heal up even my black boat. I'm like, whatever, just heal that shit up. I need to get my income because he's about to get an income swing. And by get an income swing, he already has it. He has income advantage. Luckily for me, I have a lot more techie units though. I have my Neos. I got my Rikis. Now I got 1, 2, 3 Rikis. Like I said, 3 Rikis is the ideal amount of Rikis, I would say. See what's going on. So now he's starting to death ball it up a bit. He's kind of given up completely on this side over here. I should have captured these damn properties already with my superpower. It was so frustrating. Like, he's got nothing over here. He's got 1 infantry. Everything is funneling towards the center. Everything is funneling towards here. He needs to. So he captures the property over there. He's deathballing in the middle. He's got an artillery placed over here. Nothing really defending too much over there, so I can't easily interrupt that. With my recon, I can see things better. I attack with a tank. Maybe I should attack with an infantry instead. Yeah, that was kind of... That's why you need recons. I don't know what's going on. I can't see shit. So I'm getting a little feisty. He still hasn't seen my fighter. My fighter has been chilling there for a while now. My fighter's like, yeah, where's the bomber? Like, I signed up to murder a bomber, and there isn't any bomber. Where's the damn bomber? So I'm waiting, but I'm still teching up a little bit. I got a tanky poo, I got an artillery over there, and I got a copter. The copter spam is real. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 copters right now. I'm feeling pretty good. Or 6 copters, 9 tanks. I want to change as well. He's got only 4 tanks, but he's got a lot more infantry. So I am winning basically everything but the infantry count and the income advantage. Okay, he's got income advantage, but I'm winning everything else. So he's going to kill off that tank easily. He moves his recon and sees everything. He's probably going to get a counter break, which is even more frustrating, which means I won't be able to counterattack. And now he uses the counter break. Sees everything. I can't attack the Neo tank without getting kaplowglered. So that's frustrating. And now he brings his copter in. A little feisty over there, but he has the counter break, so I can't really fight back. And this is looking scary. He's got more units than me, for sure. He builds a second Neo tank, so now he's got 2 Neo tanks. And he's up to my level of income. Most of the game he was hovering around 110,000, 120,000, 100,000. Now he's up to big board levels. 190,000, 200,000. I'm like, oh, hell no. Time to use my power. I've had enough. F it, I'm going in. So I start attacking shit. Even though he gets the first strike, I'm like, F it, I'm gonna heal everything up anyway. Bring my copter and attack the Neo tank. Boonga. Boonga, attack, but doesn't even matter. You know why? Because that's gonna heal up to 10. So it's not even a big deal. Now I use my hyper upgrade. Boom, blah. Fighter even comes in. It's like, look, I haven't seen a bomber all game. F it, I'm going in. I'm gonna kill even low picking copters. So I bring all my units in. Copter retreats. I might even heal it with my black boat if I'm feeling cheeky. Not feeling cheeky, just feel like healing a transport. I'm like, yeah, whatever. Don't want to allow this. This is 1 turn out. I'm curious if there's an infantry there. There is not, so he's not going for any cap shenanigans. I am exposed because there is an artillery here, but it only will be able to strike this infantry. So this is a pretty decent attack overall. I did a decent chunk of change to it damage-wise. I've got 210,000 worth of units now. Still not doing too great on the kill to death ratio. It actually looked worse when I was playing than how it looks. So right here, usually there's a disparity between kill to death ratio when you're playing and kill to death ratio after, because combining units counts as a death for you. So if you combine units, it counts as a death. So I think it said I was behind like 14 units, where in reality I was behind like 2 units. So I thought I was behind, a lot more units were dying on my side, but they weren't. He kills off my infantry over there. I'm kind of stopping my goal, my quest to get income advantage. Moves in, kills my copter. Kills off another copter. Kills that infantry, the aforementioned infantry as in the second Neo tank. Tries to capture my copter, or not capture my copter, but trap it in here. But I'm not letting my fighter die. Not letting that fighter die. First things first, get my capture. Now we're basically dead even in terms of income, or in terms of unit value. He's ahead 9 units. We're equal income. Let's look at the stats. Now we're at 49 to 59. So right now I think it said I was behind like 15 to 20 deaths. 15 to 20 deaths. Because I don't know about the unit combines. So I start freaking out a little bit. I'm like, I thought I was farther behind. I thought I was far behind. Anyway, escape my copter. Kill off the anti-air. Or no. I don't kill off the anti-air. Instead attack an infantry for some reason. I guess to prevent a cap later on. Kill off that. Now I kill off the copter. Tank goes in because I don't know. But it does. And I bring my Neo tank over here. The thing is, dun dun dun, my Neo tank might be dead. So I have to be very wary about that. Well, I can't be wary after I've moved, because after I've moved it might be dead after all. So now he's starting to reinforce over here, so now we're kind of pushing back. Now I'm going ham over here, and he's pushing more units over here. So we cut off the supply valve to the middle and the death ball, and I'm starting to push through over here, whereas he kind of put more units over here. So he sacks his Neo tank in order to get the KO, so alright, Pizzle, my Neo tank. It lived a long life, and then he uses the counter break. Sees everything. Bye-bye Neo tank. Bye-bye infantry. Bye-bye copter. Just brutal. Luckily for me, this anti-air is completely out of position, so he has nothing for my copter over here. So this copter can do whatever the hell it wants for an extra turn. Doesn't cut off my tank though. My tank lives to see another day, so yay for the tanky. But it's hard to attack into a counter break because it's a counter break. He's gonna get the first strike off, no matter even if I use my hyper upgrade or not. So boonga, don't even kill that. I don't even kill that. Look, so I start the turn off. Killed with that. Now it says like I'm behind like 20 units. During the game, it says I was behind 20 units. I'm like, oh shit, what's going on? He's used 2 COPs, 3 COPs. Let's see how many powers I've used. I've used my power twice, my super power twice. That's it. Because I hold on to that shit like it's precious to me. Because it is. So, I use my hyper upgrade. It's pretty decent value actually. I get around 25,000. A fighter comes in, kills off a copter, kills off that, attack the... Okay, so here, my mindset. I knew there would be something over there. You know, you'll see why I did that later on. Kill off the units. I'm just murdering things. Don't even try to interrupt that. Or maybe I will. This actually will get away with it because the anti-air does not quite reach. I'm ahead 60,000. Build an APC. Build a second APC, huh? 3 APCs I build. Build a T-copter, and I resign. And you might be wondering, wait, what? Deej resigned. He's equal on income. Well, I'm gonna lose that next turn. I'm ahead on unit value. I'm ahead 80,000. Why did you resign? Few factors. Psychological factor. I was under a lot of stress. I was playing Reimer during this time. I was playing Raka during this time. I was playing Shiyu during this time. The epic Kindle battle. I had a lot of intense games going on. This was on the back burner. Number 2, high stress. Over 100 people were watching this game. 100 people got a notification every single time I made a move. Other people saw it. Oh, Deej, can I get vision for your game? I want to watch the game. Oh, Deej, can I get vision for your game? I want to watch the game. Oh, how's the game versus Spoot going? Deej, oh, how's it? Stress. A lot of stress going on. Number 3, imperfect information. I have no idea what's going on. The kill to death ratio said I was behind 20 units. I'm ahead 4, But the kill to death thing said I have more deaths than kills, and even said more because the unit combined. So it said I was losing like 15 units down. It said I was 15 units down when in reality I wasn't. So basically it lied to me. Well, it didn't lie to me, but it's an imperfect system. You should not rely on the kill to death stats when you're playing the game. It's an improper mechanic. Number 4, I was getting tired of this game. It started in January and ended in freaking April or May. Spoot knows how to he wears me down. Spoot knows how to wear me down. He got me disinterested in the game where I stopped using the move planner. I got annoyed and tired. That bastard, he knows my weakness. He knows I'm just feisty as shit. So he played me like a fiddle in that regard. I prefer players not waste my time. Not waste my time, but spend a lot of time, you know, taking 4 months to play a game that should take like 2-3 weeks, maybe a month and a half tops. So that was another factor, but psychologically, this was the beginning of a tilt for me, actually. I lost this game, and I saw I was ahead, and I got really frustrated, and I was like, oh, I gotta win a game. And I started queuing a bunch of games. I faced, like, Tordred, and I faced Nightmare of Hienku, and I lost both of those games. I was like, oh, I gotta win again. And it just, like, it's spiral of a vicious cycle, and I started just losing and losing. Started losing to worse players, started losing to worser players. So I actually ended up taking a break after a couple weeks after this game. It was the tipping of the scale. I was at like 1,500, and I went down to like 1,300-ish. So I lost like 150 points worth. So psychologically, not in a great position for this game and afterward. So I just want to put this as a PSA. Take your time. Don't get too stressed out on the game. If you're losing, don't force yourself to play other games to make up for the lost points you've lost. Yeah, just don't focus too much on the kill to death ratio as well. But yeah, it was a learning experience. I honestly thought I was getting crushed. And when I saw this at the end of the game, I was like, no way. No fucking way. No way I have like double the unit value. I have more units. You would have thought he had 250,000 worth of units. I'm never, ever listening to the kill to death ratio again. Ever. It's complete bullshit. It is complete bullshit in the game. I highly recommend you don't pay any attention to that bullshit. I was winning the entirety of the game, and I felt like I was being crushed. I felt like he had twice the army as me, and he didn't. So, frustrating, and I was doing fine, and I just sacked all these units at the end. I didn't need to sack all these units. That was just me being feisty because I was going to resign anyway. At the beginning of the turn, I made up my mind. I said I was going to sack all my units and just forfeit because it was a relief. I was like 4 months later. I just wanted this to be over. I thought I was losing. But yeah, sometimes you think you're losing when you're not. A lot more often, I think I'm even and they're crushing me. So I felt this time, oh, it's one of those cases where, oh, I'm being crushed, but I don't realize it yet. Might as well just cut my losses and move on. In reality, I was never losing. I was always winning the entire time, basically, from day 10 onward. Even though I was overextending. Yeah, anyway, hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys took home some lessons. Take it easy on yourself. Take a breather. Don't stress too much about this game. I stress that more than you guys because I have to entertain thousands of people who are always pestering me. Oh, when's the next game coming out? How's that game gonna? It can get in your head. And that doesn't mean that you guys who don't have fans and shit following you don't have stress. You guys have stress as well to perform. But just keep in mind, it's okay. You'll get through this. Take a break. I'm taking a 2-week, 3-week break of playing Advanced Wars to get better, chill out, and make my run for 1,600, and I'll get there. I've gone through bigger spikes and stuff before. I'm not worried actually at all. So anyway, hope you guys learned something. Hope you guys were entertained. Keep your guys' heads up, and I'll see you guys the next time. Peace.